Welcome to Monday Morning Conspiracy. I'm just Randy, and yes, I'm going to be talking about 2 or 3 things that happened in the NFL yesterday that is just mind-boggling. Let's start with something that happened last weekend that moved into this weekend, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs Lions game, where the referees in New York called down to give a penalty to Detroit after they scored a touchdown, where the referees actually took the touchdown away from them. Fast forward to this week, the 49ers are playing against the Atlanta Falcons, and late in the game, McCaffrey scores a touchdown. Well, actually, he gets to the 2.5-yard line, and a 300-pound lineman grabs him by the shoulder pads and drags him across the goal line. And we see the replay over and over and over again, 2-3 times, where the announcers are talking about this is an illegal play. But yet, New York didn't call down to pull that touchdown away from the 49ers. And I can't help to think, why? Then it dawns on me. The reason why New York, the referees at home watching it on TV, didn't call down and take the touchdown away from the 49ers is because that didn't benefit the Kansas City Chiefs. So, is this a conspiracy or is this just happenstance? You tell me. Let me know in the comments. That seems kind of a little bit fishy, right? I mean, come on. New York calls down to help Kansas City out. Lots of money was bet on the quarterback for the Detroit Lions scoring the first touchdown. But yet, New York calls down. Was New York called by Vegas? Did Vegas call New York and say, hey, we got to pull that touchdown back? You tell me. Let me know in the comments section. Number 2, let's talk about sophomore slumps within quarterbacks. Happens all the time. Some quarterbacks do great their rookie year, and then they have sophomore slumps. Then offensive coordinators change or move, and then bam, this quarterback's not any good anymore, and then their career is over. Happens all the time in the NFL. And then we see a resurgence of all these quarterbacks. Now, I'm not going to talk about Baker and Matt Jones and Indiana Jones and all that right now. What I'm talking about is Jayden Daniels, okay? He's in a sophomore slump. Or were they lucky in year 1 where he and just these Hail Marys were falling perfect and everything was going great? It was just lucky, and he's really not as good as everyone claims, right? I mean, we don't know. I mean, it could just be a sophomore slump and he'd be back to normal. He could get better this into this season, but that's not what I'm talking about. It is funny that how people are like, oh, he's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks ever at the end of his rookie year, but then here we are again in a sophomore slump, and it's just, you know. But anyways, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm going to talk about is that people are comparing him to all over the World Wide Web. People are comparing him to RG3. And it's funny because this is exactly what happened to RG3. Career was over, but his mom is tweeting, or I don't know, or she's telling the press, I don't know where it come from, but his mom is saying, please don't compare my baby to RG3. That has got to be the greatest thing ever. His mom is coming to his defense. We love you, Mom. That is great. And this is so funny that she's like, please don't compare him to RG3. And I don't blame her, because I liked RG3. I thought RG3 was the next best thing. But then again, sophomore slump, and then here we are again. You know, I just don't get it, you know. And then these quarterbacks are just tossed out to the garbage, and they never make a comeback. Except for this year, we're seeing it. So, you know, that's great. That's great for Matt Jones and, you know, Daniels and Baker Mayfield. Let's go Bucks, by the way. So, but anyways, so let's move on to the Icy Bowl. They're calling this the Icy Bowl. Now, I'm not talking just about how great these 2 quarterbacks played. You know, everybody was talking, oh, it's the Icy Bowl. They're 2 old guys. Well, these 2 old guys shined. But that's not why I'm here today. I'm here today to talk about when Rodgers, this is the greatest thing ever. When Rodgers throws what we think is the game-winning touchdown, right? He's skipping off the field, and his offensive lineman, one of his 300-pound offensive linemen, tackle him, lands on him, and it's like Rodgers freaks out. He flips over, he jumps up. He looks like Baker Mayfield getting up to fight somebody, right? He pushes the guy and turns around and rolls off. He's like, don't touch me. And it's just the greatest thing ever, just to see his interaction with his offensive lineman. His offensive lineman landed on him, kind of. You know? I mean, it was crazy. He tackled him. And this ain't no spring chicken. This is Rodgers. He's one tweaked ankle away from, you know, being retired. He's trying to prolong his career. So, anyways, I thought that was some funny stuff right there. So, you tell me which one of the three is the funniest in the comments. Of course, the first one's not very funny because it's, you know, what kind of conspiracy is this, you know? Is the NFL the next WWE? Who knows? But see how serious I got there. This could be something major, right? Has the NFL come out and said anything about, you know, sorry, we screwed up. It's against the rules for us to call down and change a play when the referees didn't see it on the field. Ooh. Anyways, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about this segment. You know, I do shorts and reels all the time, and I'm just trying something different, you know? Let's go.